First of all, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Sorry I'm late again. Had a little unplanned stop on the way. We just, of course, came from the airport. Had the teams come in just a little bit ago. I want to, first of all, say a shout-out to PBI and Atlantic Aviation. We had a great time today welcoming the teams. We literally had a group on the tarmac. We had a drum line from Boynton Beach High that was kind of providing the ambiance, and we were sure glad to welcome these teams to town. And we think we have two fantastic teams. I always said our bowl game really kind of sits in a special place. I always feel like we have shown you, the teams we brought here, we've shown you some of the up-and-coming teams. We've shown you championship teams. You know, you look at last year, Syracuse ranked in the top 25 now, and I got every confidence that these two teams are going to go on to fantastic things. I'm really especially pleased to have these two coaches in this game. Obviously, I know this guy. He's been here before. They're making their third trip, twice with him as the head coach. Tyson has obviously knows his way to Boca Raton in Palm Beach County. Let's see, 6 straight bowl games you've been in now, and you're in the previous 5, you're 4-1, so I think he knows how to win in them too. And this guy right here, I think I said earlier to him, you know, I've kind of followed his career. When he was at Holy Cross and doing the great things he was doing in the Patriot League, and of course, he's been a winner at every level. So for me, kind of the fanboy I am, I guess you'd say, I'm really, really happy to have these two guys. Two great coaches, two folks who are in it for all the right reasons, and I'm excited that to introduce them. First of all, we'll let Tyson Helton go first because you've been here before. Coach Chesney, you kind of see how he does it and go from there.
Yeah, take some pointers, yeah.
So we'll let you open with comments, Coach Helton.
Yeah, I'll be the opening act and
save
the best for last. But we are really excited to be back. When we found out we were headed back to the bowl and being here for the third time, our team was just ecstatic. What a fantastic job that this bowl puts on, and we've had a ball every time we come down here. The hospitality that we receive from this group and the professionalism that we receive is just second to none. And you know, just like Doug said, we've been blessed to be in 6 bowls since I've been there, and this has by far been the best. And this is the most one that we look forward to coming to. I'd hope we get, and I'm glad we're back. And excited to be here, and really excited to play a very, very, very good James Madison football team. Coach does a fantastic job. Just like Doug, I've watched him from afar and watched his career, and you know, he is a fantastic coach, and that is a fantastic football team that we're about to play in James Madison, and just excited for that matchup. You know, in today's college football world, you know, we had a team that opt out of the college football game. You know, for Western Kentucky, we take bowl games very seriously. Not necessarily going to bowls, but trying to win bowls. This is like a championship game to us. It means a lot to us, and you know, I think it means a lot to people in college football. You know, you want to be able to turn on a game this time of year, sit down on your couch and watch a good football game. And you got 2 really good football teams that are going to match up here in a couple days, and it's going to be exciting football. And that's what's great about college. And I think in today's era where, you know, you see these opt-outs and you see all these different things happen, college football is still a great game. There's still a lot of people that want to play in these bowl games. We are one of them. And so we are so excited to be here. Again, cannot thank this group enough for having us, and look forward to an exciting game. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Coach. And, of course, you know, the Hilltoppers come in here. As I look back on their previous 2 visits, they've got the number 1 and number 3 highest point totals by a team in our game. And right across from them is going to be a top 25 defense in the nation. I can't wait to see JMU take the field against these guys. I think we've got a fantastic matchup. And like I said, what Coach Chesney's done through the years. And let me just share with you a little side here. So they get off the plane, and we greet them all getting off the plane. And then I see Coach Chesney running back up the steps to the plane, and he's helping one of the players down who had been hurt. I mean, that says something a lot about you, about your character, Coach. I really admire that.
Yeah, I appreciate
Coach Chesney?
That. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I think, you know, I would do that for any player, and any player that ever really sweat or bled or got hurt on that field, in my past, I think those are really strong bonds that we cherish forever, and I know all coaches around the world feel the same. We're really thankful to be here and very excited to be here. There was a lot of different conversations about where we may go and where we may be and whether we have to pack our winter gear still or we got to bring our bathing suits, and we're pretty excited to have a chance to come down here and just bring the team together one more time. As you know, I don't know how much you know about our program and how much you've all followed it, but ultimately I came in around this time last year, and the team was preparing to go play in the Armed Forces Bowl in Texas. And there was a lot of guys in the portal. There was a lot of guys that left that program, our program, and went on to different places, and we ended up bringing in 60 new guys into our program. So really a huge challenge, and I realized the challenge was not going to come from necessarily their football prowess, because I knew we would find guys that can play really good football. It was going to come from how quickly we could unite those guys, how quickly we can bring them together, how quickly they could believe in each other, how quickly they could get to know each other on a personal level so that they could play for the person next to them, not just the position and the player next to them. So we spent a ton of time, really, involving ourselves in each other's lives. And I say all that because to show up down here and have our season concluded, 2 weeks ago and have one more run at this and one more chance to spend a little time together, I'm really, really excited. And I know that we all feel very blessed to be able to do that. When I had a chance to go to the bowl game last year, there was a lot of purple. There was a ton of purple there, and all of our home games were sold out this year. And I imagine there'll be a whole lot of purple down here, this week as well. And I'm excited to get a chance to see our players with their families and us get a chance to, spend some time together off the field. Obviously, this is a business trip, and this is something that we're very excited about, the opportunity to, have an opportunity to win the first game ever, first bowl game ever in the history of our, storied program. And I'm, just blessed to be able to do it down here against a great opponent and in front of some really great fans. So I'm just, again, on behalf of everybody at James Madison, and just thankful for everyone here, ESPN, you, Doug, and Paige, and everyone that is volunteering to help, you all there, and just how much time and effort and commitment you put into this. That's not an easy task to plan a whole year's worth of, for this game, and you've all done it really well. I have not had a chance to yet experience it, but I'm excited to, get a chance to experience what Coach Helton has over the, the past 2 times he's been here. So again, just thankful, blessed, and excited to represent, James Madison on this stage.
Well, Coach Chesney, we're thrilled to have y'all. Coach Helton, we're thrilled to have y'all. Let's see, James Madison will be in the West Palm Beach Hilton. Western Kentucky is down in Boca Raton at the Marriott down there. Western Kentucky's practicing at Boca High School, and JMU's practicing at the new facility at the city of Boynton Beach. At this time, we'll open it up for questions. Yes, sir.
For both of the coaches, Bob, you said this week you're trying to strike a balance between work and fun. This should feel like a reward, but obviously it's an extra couple weeks of work. For both of you, how do you find the right balance between making sure the kids view this as fun and a reward, but also wanting to play well in the game?
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I think, the fun and reward really was happening at the beginning when we had 2 weeks, to really just try to make sure we managed it well. We didn't want to turn it into 15 spring practices jammed in the middle here and conditioning at the end. And really, we wanted to make sure that this was something that they felt, honored to be able to do, and felt, that we were taking care of them physically and mentally throughout that period. So that's really where that, initially came from. We get down here, there will be some downtime. There will be some events that we're excited to, partake in. But ultimately, when it's time to get on that field and in the meeting room and the practice and to do those things, it's a business trip when it's all said and done. But I'm excited, to spend some time with them off the field. During the typical day, they have classes and there's other things. They'll come back for meetings, and you don't get as much time together. You definitely don't get time with them and their families, and to see them interacting with their parents. And that's a pretty special moment that I'm excited to share with a lot of them before many of them that have 1 year left or this is their final game go their separate ways. So there is a balance, but when it's work time, it's work time.
Yeah, for us, we were fortunate it was to play in a championship game, so we just flowed right into, bowl prep week, so it tied in perfect this year for us. The guys just finished up finals. We played the championship game, and we were able to stay on schedule. A normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice, Friday walkthrough. was able to come down here. Just like Coach said, you know, this is a time for celebration, and we take this game very, very seriously. But we love seeing the families, love seeing the fans, love being down here. You get to go to the beach, you get to see what this beautiful area has to offer. That's a very important part of it, and you know, our guys love to do that. And but just like Coach said, when you know, we're going to put in some good practices here over the next couple of days to put the finishing touches on for this game. But you know, for us, it's been really just a continuation, so it's set up pretty well for us as far as prep time goes.
All right, next question. Doug Heiser from the Boca Tribune, you got your question ready?
Thank you for coming to speak, and then I want to know what expectations that you guys have for the city. What do you expect the city to welcome you guys? I'm just simply here right now.
Well, I'm very fortunate where we're at and where we're staying. There's a couple restaurants that I got to experience last time, and the food down here is exceptional, and there's so much variety here, you know, and you know, I want to put a plug in for a particular one, but I'm going to hold off there because I don't want to make anybody mad. But they're going to see me tonight, and I'm going to be eating some chips and salsa and having some good food for sure. But you know, more than anything, this is a great area. We love being here and everything this city has to offer. And, you know, it's a great time to be down here. When we flew out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, it was about 35, 37 this morning. So it's nice to get some of this warm Florida weather for sure.
Are you going to Taco Bell or Rocco's Tacos?
That second one sounds pretty familiar to me.
We won't be in Boca. We'll be over in West Palm. So if you do know the mayor there, a little discount for our players. They have a per diem to go out for dinner, but I looked at some of the menus and prices. I don't know if our number is going to quite cover it on their per diem. So if you could help us out there, that would be appreciated. Yes.
Next question. Yes, sir.
For both coaches, I'm just curious about your quarterback situations. Bob, obviously, Billy, with you guys out, and Coach, with Cade in the portal, is he going to play, or what is the outlook there?
Yeah, Caden's going to play. You know, I've had a lot of experience with the portal, you know, and every year we have guys that go in and you know, but like I said, bowl games are important not only to our fan base but to our team and our players, and we have the bulk of our team here, and you know, again, in today's portal era, you know, I may do it a little differently. You know, I want to keep the team together. I want to win games. And our players have a lot of honor, and they have a lot of pride for their team. So whether they're in the portal or not, you know, most of our guys are here and they'll be ready to play. So yeah, Caden's ready to go, and I've had quarterbacks in the past that have come before Caden that were in the portal, and they've done well and they've handled their business well. So I don't expect anything less of Caden.
Yeah, question on Billy. Yeah, he's doing great. I think he's had a great week, and he's been really our backup for the majority of the year, and has really, you know, taken a lot of reps throughout practice periods, had a couple game reps, but I really like where, you know, the leadership he continues. He's a mature kid. He's not, you know, a freshman or a sophomore backup. He's been in here for a while. He had his chances at one point, you know, to get on the field and playing meaningful snaps, and he's done a phenomenal job. I'm excited for him to get a chance to have that light shine on him, you know, to be revealed for just the work and the commitment he's put in.
Yes, sir.
Stand over Haitian times. I'd like to ask my first question. What encounters have you had with the Haitian community?
I've had a lot. You know, I'm originally from Florida. I've lived all over Florida. You know, and so, you know, the Haitian community is prospering and doing well, and a big part of this community. And you know, so yes, I've had a lot, and I've had Haitian players, and so you know, what a great group of people, what an honorable group of people, and so my experience has always been a great one with the Haitian people.
I don't share the same experience. I haven't lived in Florida much, but I do know that in our past we have had Haitian players, and I think that I just want everybody to have an opportunity to be themselves, right, and to really strongly feel that they could represent themselves and their families and where they've come from with a lot of pride. And I think all of us within our program respect each other and really share a lot of empathy towards one another, and that's what makes this sport probably the greatest in the world, is that you have so many different body types, so from our little kicker to our 330-pound offensive lineman. They're just the diversity in so many different ways on a team is what makes a football team so special. So we're blessed to have all different types of people on our team, and I'm just thankful that we get to share this sport and the struggles and the toughness that we all go through, but ultimately to respect one another and just absolutely be there for each other, whatever they're going through, I think is what makes this sport, ultimately so special.
Another question? Yes, sir.
For both of you guys, South Florida area, Florida in general is just a strong recruiting area. On your rosters, you can see representation. Does it help to come down and play a game here for recruiting purposes?
For us, definitely. We've done extremely well in this area and really all over Florida. And it's great for our kids to get back because a lot of their families will be at the game. And so the short answer is yes, this is great exposure for our program and our recruiting base for sure down here.
Yeah, same. Everywhere I've been, this has just been, fertile recruiting ground. There's no question. The football that is played here, the caliber of football played here, the types of players that come from here, and just how serious they take it. A lot of these high school programs are run like college programs, so you have an opportunity to bring some guys in that know and understand what the weight room is like and understand, what playing on only one side of the ball might be like and how deep they could get into the intricacies of that position. And then also, special teams play. There's some areas where they're the same guy who's the quarterback is the kick returner who's also the defensive back, and, the depth of the scheme is not, that great. And I think down here, they see football in a very different way, not only their ability athletically, but also, the programs they come from, the development that happens here from these coaches is absolutely phenomenal and been a big part of, my career at least, in the recruiting we've been able to do down here.
Pride point for our bowl game is that every team that's played in the first 10 years has recruited a student athlete from down here. So guys, I hope you'll keep that up.
Well, we sure will, yeah.
We can keep that bragging.
Yep.
Yes, sir, Rick.
For both coaches, the trophies, the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy, and I had the pleasure of going to school that with you and Coach was there, he's one of my mentors. So a personal question to each of you, who are your mentors? And why do you select him as a mentor, and how do you implement that into your mentorship with your players?
For me, it's definitely my father. He was a long-time NFL and college coach. I got to see him around his players and mold young men and get to see them be great husbands and fathers. And the biggest thing for my dad is to watch his former players come back and hug him and tell him, Coach, thanks so much for what you did. You changed my life. And that's really why I got into the profession, to be honest with you. And then you mentioned Howard Schnellenberger, made me smile. My dad actually coached for Coach Schnellenberger at University of Miami, and I can remember being in there as a little kid with Jim Kelly and going into Coach Schnellenberger's office, and he had the old pipe, and just that smell was just, man, it just brings me back. And we were very fortunate to have a big win against App State in 21 here. And Miss Schnellenberger was able to hand me the trophy, and it just brought back so many fond memories. But, again, my dad was probably my biggest mentor by far, and still to this day, he'll be at the game, and, I'm sure I'll get a few coaching points at halftime in the locker room from him, but looking forward to that.
Yeah, I share the same. My father was a longtime high school football coach up in Pennsylvania, and actually growing up, probably very similar to you coaches. My grandfather was our offensive line coach. My uncle was our receivers coach. Their other, brother-in-law was the athletic director and a basketball coach at the high school. Our neighbor across the street was the filmer for the football games. Our other neighbor was the equipment manager. And every male in my life at that point had something to do with our program, probably because they were friends with my dad. Probably didn't have a whole big budget, and these guys probably came pretty cheap, right? So that's probably why he was able to, get the whole neighborhood behind it all. But, he's coached with us now. My father's on the sideline. My son will be on the sideline as well, come Wednesday night. And that's been a big thing for me. And more so the idea of family and what this sport means to me. This is a sport I've been just extremely passionate about from the day I was born. I knew that this is just probably like a fisherman grows up in a fisherman's house and knows that he's going to do that, and for me, I just knew that this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, and this was my purpose and my calling. And same thing, when I look at, different games. In North Carolina game, there were guys that I coached from 2005 that were there, and just those experiences that you share with them. I think that sometimes gets lost in some of the things that happen today. It's just a fast, paced world that we live in, and there's some transactional relationships that happen here, but there were so many transformative ones that happened in the past, and I was really proud, of those relationships. We were all sharing this journey, right? It's just we enter into each other's lives at different times and leave at others, and but when you have those moments together and to make the most of them, also, that's something I learned from my father, as well.
And by the way, Beverly will be at the game Wednesday night to hand off that trophy again to one of y'all.
Great.
So, who we got next? Yes.
Both judges, what would it mean for you guys to be closer to Delaware going into the offseason?
It'd be huge. It's why we play the game, and I walk by our trophy case every day coming into the office, and I don't overlook it for 1 second. There's great honor in winning that trophy. So, both teams and Coach will tell you the same thing. Your competitive juices the minute that ball's kicked off. I don't care if you're playing for anything, a penny, it could be anything. You want it, and so that is a special trophy, and you certainly want to go win that game. So it means a lot to us and our program for sure.
Yeah, the same, and ours comes with a little more gravity because this would be the first ever bowl win in the history of the program. So, there's a lot that, that's behind this.
Yes.
For a lot of you guys, probably their first bowl game or might be their last game ever. So when you go into the locker room before the game, what do you tell them?
Coach, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think ultimately to enjoy it, right? Enjoy these moments, because if it's their last game, obviously they have aspirations of playing at that next level, but none of that's guaranteed. But it's your last chance to do this, and the last chance to do this together from this team. I think to be able to enjoy it and to know that there'll be ups and downs throughout the game, but there'll be ups and downs throughout the game of life ultimately, and to make sure that they cherish all those moments. And when something tough hits, to love every minute of it and to attack it again. Don't run from it, but attack it. And those are conversations we have almost daily. That this is, very much reflects what life will bring them, each and every game. And to have a chance to do, have one more of these is, a big piece of it. And I think those guys that, if this is their last game, I think it's important they take those shoulder pads off slowly, right? Because when they come out the other side of that, they may not be in them again. So it's important that they all, again, cherish every moment they have out there.
Same thing for me. I mean, the logo means a lot, and they want to enjoy that time with each other. And there's a lot going on in everybody's life. For somebody, it may be their last college football game. For somebody, this may be their last game moving on to a different school. But no matter what happens, there's an honor and a camaraderie there with each other, that they want to be on that battlefield with each other. So, nothing changes from a perspective of what you got to go do to win the game. But there's definitely, when they look in each other's eyes, about to take that field, it means a little more, because they know for this particular season, this team, this will only be, it will never be the same. And so it's cool to see, and I cherish those moments, as do all coaches. But especially for our guys, they really want to play this last game together, and that's why. You see, even with us having guys in portals and all that, they're all here. They're ready to go. So it means a lot to them.
Question for the coach, you touched on it a little bit. What would this first bowl game mean for your program?
That would mean a lot. I mean, we had an opportunity last year. We're not yet bowl eligible technically to play, but then we're allowed into the bowl game, and came up short against a great Air Force team. And I think that this one being the first year where we're bowl eligible, to have an opportunity to win this would be a big deal for everybody. And I think it would set the standard for for the future as well.
Yes, sir.
For us, so locally, we have a lot of community service work that our guys do. It's weekly, whether it's at local Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, several church events. So they are very much ingrained into the community and giving back to the community. I've always felt like, give back to where your feet are planted, and it starts with your community. And our guys believe in that. So that's really where we do most of our community service work, is within the community of Bowling Green.
I can't speak to that if we do have anyone that went to Haiti in particular, but I do know we have a lot of guys that do, go, overseas to do work. But ultimately for us, we're in the same position. When I first got there, that was a big part of it. I think our program, as great as it was, and as much as we accepted all of the love from the fans and the community, we very rarely gave anything back. And that first winter we got there, through the spring, we did over 500 hours of community service within our community. So that was just as a proud moment for me as anything. I think, as you know, you get involved in community service and you think you're going to help people, and you quickly realize how quickly it's helping you. And I think that I don't know. I could report back to you though once I'll check with our team and see if anybody's been to Haiti, but I imagine they have.
One FC Sono's question for both of you guys. Coach, you guys have struggled at times with run defense. Bob Bunch runs the ball real well, and then your team has struggled at times with pass plays and big plays. The coach's team obviously throws it pretty well. You look at those two aspects of this matchup.
Yeah, we're facing one of the top defenses in the country, and so when you analyze that, you really try to attack what are their weaknesses, and it's hard to find weaknesses because they're pretty good on defense. For us, we, just like you said, hey, at times the run. I think you have to look at how do you win games, and at the end of the day, it's about winning the game. So I think we've done a good job of really limiting points, and that's the main thing, creating turnovers and limiting points. And so, we're playing a really good football team in James Madison, and they got a really good offense. Coach does a great job with that. They got an exceptional defense. At the end of the day, the game takes its own shape, and the beauty of technology today with the iPads and all that, coaches are now a huge part of the game again. And so all that practice that you do and all that, you better be able to make adjustments. And I think you got two football teams that know how to do that, and so we'll make adjustments. They'll make adjustments throughout the game. But at the end of the day, it's about winning the football game. And, and I don't care if we go out there and have 250 yards on offense or 500 yards on offense. We just want to go win the football game.
Yeah, the same. I think that every game takes a different shape and tells a different story, and you could walk in with your introduction story to what you think the game will be, and then throughout it, you'll have a very different, ending, when it's all said and done. And it does come with a lot of different adjustments, comes with a lot of different understanding of matchups that are happening on the field, and then what schemes are we employing that are working, and will they continue to work, or how quick do you have to, shift and switch them up before they catch on, and vice versa. I mean, this is a really good football coach to the right of me, and a really good football team that understands his mission and what he's trying to do with the ball. And it starts with the quarterback, who's just doesn't get frazzled a whole lot. And there's very, very capable receivers that they're on time and they're accurate, and they do some really great things. So we got to be able to play our best football. But again, ultimately the game will dictate how that all looks, and if there's weather involved, how does this whole thing play out? The natural grass, there's going to be a lot of things that we're all going to have to adjust to pretty quickly, and get a really good understanding of in the first few minutes of that game.
Next question, Rick?
I'll ask a personal question that, again, I like to draw some color on. What's on your pregame playlist?
Ooh. So for me, it's a mixture of everything. I love George Strait. I love, Kenny Chesney. I'll have a couple of, pump you up, songs and those kind of things. I'm a old school rap guy, so Snoop Dogg and, all those kind of guys. It's funny, I'm steering off track here, but, at practice we play music, and I can't understand, the stuff of today. And then, some old school rap will come on, and everybody, including the coaches, are singing it and jumping up and down on that. And I said, we had real music back in the day, guys. None of the stuff that nobody could hear anymore. But, I'm a hodgepodge of everything, and it's funny you say that. Right before I go into a stadium, I always pick out 2 or 3 songs as we're pulling up. It depends on the mood that I'm in. It may be really chill, or it may be, something that really gets me going. It just depends on how I feel.
I'm glad you didn't air that Snoop Dogg thing before we got you locked down in this bowl game. They might have stole you away.
I don't listen to music before the game. I put my headphones in, but I like to feel, what's going on around me and so I can still hear, but it's very loud in those stadiums, loud in our locker room. I like to just hear what's going on around me and, just in a little more of a muffled sense. But I like to just feel what they're feeling, and just kind of try to read the room and read the locker room and just see, what the vibe is out there. I don't listen to any music. I do put my headphones in, but I don't listen to any music in them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're right there at Boca High School, right around the corner from the hotel there, and we're that probably around that 11:30 type range. Don't hold me to it, but kind of right around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick, what we ask the teams to do is keep either the first 15 minutes or the last 15 minutes of practice open to the media. Are you doing first or last?
Whatever Jared in the back tells me to do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll be last, but our morning starts a little bit earlier because we got the hotel further away from the site. We got the hours where we have to be at places at 12 and 1. These guys get to sleep in over there.
Well, you're
Hotel
Eastern
right
time
next to
zone.
this. I see. No, so it's all good. So we practice at 9. Tomorrow we practice at 9 again, and I think we're about a half hour away from where we're going up to Boynton Beach, or down to Boynton Beach. So we'll be there 9 on both those days, and then the next day we'll kick back just a little bit later. So tomorrow at 9:10, I believe, and then the next day I think it's similar, and then we kick a little bit later on the last 2.
All right. Anybody else? Yes.
Just on behalf of Parker, thank you for the great meeting, and I know as a group we're very excited to work this week, but if you, question for both coaches, if either of you had to pick a word, just one word that would describe this experience for you and your team, for what it means to your program, what would you pick?
For the bowl experience, just the word that pop without thinking about it, pageantry, is a word that I think of for sure. Just the whole experience and how well it's done, and people like yourselves that make it such a great experience. And it's a great thing about college football. It's a celebration, So I guess my word would be pageantry,
I haven't been through the bowl yet. We just got off the plane, a couple of seconds ago. But I would say camaraderie, because whatever is about to happen and whatever we're about to go through it together. So I would say, that word. Where are you all from again? Marietta.
So what we do is we have undergraduate sports management programs
That's
from
great.
Marietta College and Culver Stockton College, the
Great.
same group of students down
Great.
to work each year.
So you just finished your finals? Yeah, and then you get credits for this, or credit or anything? No, just volunteers? Oh, it's great though. Good for you all. Well, thanks for all that you do. It's important. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right. If there's anybody that needs to do and I don't know if y'all did them while I was out messing with my car, but if y'all need to do any one-on-ones on the side, catch the coaches, but do understand they've got to get back to their teams. They got the welcome parties tonight at their hotels, and then, of course, they start practice tomorrow. Thank you both for being
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
I'm excited to have both y'all in the game. Can't wait to give away that trophy to one of you.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.